Welcome to Radwood. If you don't know what Radwood is, don't feel bad. This is a relatively new car scene or car community, and it's really cool because it's all about like 80s and 90s era cars as well as lifestyle. So Radwood is this incredible car show celebrating these cars from this really neat time where like automotive technology was changing and the engineering was really innovative and different. It's when we switched over from like a lot of mechanical stuff to electronic stuff. So carburetors were replaced with electronic fuel injection. There were things like digital clusters and all kinds of other really neat and innovative technology and a lot of creativity that went on during this time period. And so that's what you'll see with these cars today, is there a lot of this really rad technology, really rad innovation, and lots of creativity from the time period. Now, if that isn't rad enough for Radwood, I don't know what is.
So let's go check out Radwood and I'll show you some of the stuff that it's all about.
Man, this is like super mint. AW11 MR2. Got some awesome tires on this, and this just looks like a nice, super clean OEM plus kind of a thing. Like even the interior is just so nice. A little bit of wear on the steering wheel, but that's surprising to see everything else in such good condition. DeLorean. Right next to another AW11 MR2. This one, this is pretty neat. Toyota Grand Prix of Long Beach pace car. And then right next to it, a nice FC RX-7. Turbo 2. That's awesome. I remember years ago when I first got into AE86s, this car, Daniel Lynch's car, he was one of the first ones like built 86s I saw. And back then, this would have been 10 years ago, it had an SR20 in it, had tons of really awesome bodywork done, just a really clean car. And then seeing it today in even, a very similar build, similar style, and he's kept it and he's changed it a little bit. Now it's got a K20 swap in it, but still turboed, and just looks absolutely beautiful. It's really cool to see something, again, that I haven't seen in a decade. So this is 11 AE86 Coupe. This guy's been around for a long time. Haymaker, that was his screen name on all the forums back in the day too, so still has Haymaker on his car. That's just awesome. A lot of the bodywork on this car and fabrication, I think, was done by 11s, which is a body shop here in Phoenix. It's pretty famous for working on a lot of drift cars back in the day, and they still do a lot of really they still do a lot of like fiberglass and custom body stuff. Here we've got the case swap and future fabrication downpipe, so just awesome to see this. And then right next to Daniel's car is this super rad first gen Cressida MX-63, I think. This bright yellow, lots of polished or chrome looking stuff. And then check out the engine bay. Just awesome. Oh, hang on. MX-32, that's what it is, MX-32. And inside it right here, we've got this old, I think that's a TRD bucket seat in there. An old one. I thought about bringing one of my 8.6s out to this, but neither of my 8.6s are done, and neither of them are really good enough for me to feel comfortable or confident bringing them out to a car show like this. And of course, I was so sidetracked by the old Toyotas that I completely missed the this old Porsche Turbo 911 or something here. Yeah. Oh, cool. Cressida has that old school like rear spoiler underneath thing, which is something very specific style from the time period. Oh, dude, and it's got the rear deck speakers. This is so cool. Not only the time period, but also the style of these old Cressidas, as a lot of them would do, is put another spoiler on the back underneath like that. And another AW11 MR2. Man, these things are all over out here. This is so cool. 4AG ZE supercharged too. Cool. There's an old Alfa Romeo here too. I don't know much about these. I just like old Alfas. Let me see what's on the paper here. There we go. 96 916 Spyder 2.0. I know I need to give love to more cars other than the old Japanese ones, but you know, old Toyotas, that's kind of my passion here. So got the Pizza Planet truck, 4-wheel drive, next to a M3 Z3 shooting brake, and then a regular Z3 right here next to it, and a Chevy El Camino. Sorry, something else attracted my attention over here. An SW20 MR2. Sick. This is really clean too. Okay, he's got his hood pulled, or his engine cover. Lots of polished bits in here. Oh, that's really nice. That's really nicely done. That's really cool. Oh, wow. So like, all right, I used to have one of these, and the dash always peels up right up there. So this has got a nice reupholstered dash in it. Lots of fancy carbon fiber stuff in the interior. Wow, this is really nice. Then he's got some like FRS or BRZ seats in it. Looks like Racing Heart 3-spoke wheels, carbon fiber lip. That's awesome. So I actually used to have an SW20, and I saw it pop up on Facebook the other day. It was 10 years ago that I bought an SW20 from the cousin of the owner, because the owner was in jail and he needed money. And it wasn't really the cleanest SW20 MR2, but it was turbo. It had some nice stuff on it. It actually had a replica TRD wide body kit on it, and a bunch of other period correct parts like a Blitz turbo timer and a Blitz blow-off valve, but a bunch of neat stuff like that, and even like the TRD catback. So those cars have a special place in my heart. I love SW20s. They're such a great car. They're so unique, and they've really gone up in price lately. We got this old Tacoma lowrider. It's probably on airbags, I would assume, which is awesome. It's got his BMX bike in the back, which is all period correct. Like, check this out. Well, back in the 80s and 90s, colored tires were a thing. So seeing this with colored tires, you know, the white tires and this old Diamondback bike, man, this is so cool. With the high seat too. Yeah. We got this Nissan Powell with these, like, what are these, like, koala wheels? That's so cool. Radwood royalty cars. The Hunabkin Pigosaurus something or other wild car here. Here we go. Check this thing out. A Lancia. A Lancia Delta Integrale Evo 1 with a 2-liter turbo Bosch mechanical fuel injection and all-wheel drive. A Lancia Integrale. And then World Rally Champion. These cars are so cool. So rad. We got this right next to a left-hand drive Tommy Mackinnon edition Mitsubishi Evo Rally Art something or other. So this is an Evo 6. And right next to the Lancia is this crazy Volvo wagon lifted rally car. Not a lot of people know a whole lot about these, I feel like. The people who love these old turbo Volvos, because yes, they are turbocharged, are often referred to as turbo brickers, and these cars are called turbo bricks. And actually, the rear axle out of this is like what I have in my my 86 drift car. And then over here, we've got some of the more, I think some more exotic, rare cars. So we got like an Acura NSX right here. And then we've got like this Ferrari. Just check that thing out, man. That's so sick. Ferrari 328 GTS. I love the wheels on these old Ferraris. They're just one of my favorites. This classic 5-spoke design. Got an Integra Type R. And then some Nissans. 300ZX twin turbo. Next to an R33 GTR. And then another 300ZX. This one's a Targa top or a convertible. I don't know much about these. Looks like it's like a convertible and it stows back here. Yeah, okay. It's on like 370Z wheels. That's what that looks like. We got them 3-spoke wheels on this R33. When I walked past it, it smelled like the JDM Squash air freshener. Let's see if I can find it in here. All right, I found one of my favorite American cars. Well, it's kind of a weird, not exactly American, but sort of. It's sold under a brand that no longer exists, that pretty much only existed for this car. I'm talking about the Merkur XR4Ti. This was essentially the US's version of the Escort Cosworth. And it came with a 4-cylinder turbo, which is a 2.3 liter. I think it's the same thing as what came in the SVO Mustang, at least here in the US anyway. I love that on these they have these old whale tail kind of a spoiler, or this like double hatch spoiler. One of my favorite style things. This is like what I'm talking about, of like unique, innovative stuff and very creative stuff from the Radwood era, is these, you know, bodywork like this. And then right next to another really obscure Ford, this is the Ford Contour SVT. These were really cool cars. They were fun and fast. A buddy of mine a few years ago had one. His fiance or wife now drove it all the time. They were really fun, very unique. Not a whole lot of support for them, but definitely Radwood kind of stuff. And then one of my favorite DSMs right here. These were so cool. And they didn't seem to, a lot of these didn't quite get the love that they should have, in my opinion. I don't know the exact differences, but this is like a Starion or a Conquest. I love the body lines of these, super aggressive body lines here. Got this real nice wide body, and they came turbocharged, so of course I love them. Viper next to an Isuzu Rodeo, man. That's the raddest of Radwood stuff right there. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen a first-gen DSM. It's next to another really cool car. We'll check that out in a second. But look at this ginormous turbo, man. It's huge. This is so cool. This is like when I was first getting into cars, DSMs were like big, because I was all about all-wheel drive stuff. So I had a Subaru and a bunch of buddies had DSMs. That's awesome. And then next to it, we have another VR4. So this is the V6. This is like what came in the, oh shoot, the Dodge Stealth or whatever here in the US. But this one's not a US vehicle. It is a Mitsubishi wagon, right-hand drive, 4-wheel drive, Legnum. That's what it is. Cool. I found a cool truck that I don't know much about, but they are cool. I just got really excited because I saw the Evolution down there. I'm like, oh cool, it's a Mitsubishi Evo truck, because that's what it is. It is a Mitsubishi. Pajero. I've seen some people get the racks out of these and put them in 86s, but that's so cool. I love it. This is all like factory aero stuff. I'll check out Dakar 12. So these are just, once again, really neat cars, neat trucks, big old fender flares with vents, just real sporty looking. I mean, check out like the spoiler here. Like, look at that. Those body lines are just so cool. I found another really neat truck, and this is something that I haven't seen one of these in a long time. One of my neighbors when I lived in South Carolina had one of these, and they're just, well, just like everything else here, they're rad. A Ford SVT F-150 Lightning in red. The one that my neighbor had in South Carolina was black. These are so cool. This is that sport truck time period that we're, you know, that car manufacturers were experimenting with. And now granted, these were like later 90s and into early 2000s, but still, yeah, this fits with the Radwood theme for me. It's got the step side bed. You see the side exit exhaust. This is all stock Ford stuff right here. So that's it for Radwood, the raddest of rad cars at the raddest of rad car show. That was a lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cars that I personally like. So if you like that, make sure you check out my channel, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff, and check out everything else I got.